Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, March 18th, and welcome to your daily astrological forecast. So, we are coming off of the energy of the new moon that happened yesterday, Saturday the 17th. And then immediately after it, we had Mars hopping into Capricorn. There's a lot of definitely energy shiftings going on right now. I mean, we also have the sun getting ready to move into Aries. So if the next couple days seem very off, do expect that we're having a lot of energy transitioning all happening at once. We also have Mercury getting ready to retrograde on the 22nd. As of today, it is officially moving into a stationary direct position before it goes complete stationary and then goes stationary retrograde. So we're we're in a bit of a huge energy shift going on here, and I can kind of give you guys a little bit of pointers of what exactly is going on the overall chart. Though I'm more interested on what's going on today, but overall we're just really getting ready to finish up this cycle that we've had, this cycle that we sometimes call 2017, but a little bit off of the Gregorian calendar, and getting ready to actually start this 2018. But let me go ahead and jump in and show you guys exactly what it is that we got going on and how to make the most of today. So again, as we mentioned, it's no secret, yesterday we had a new moon, and then after it we had Mars hopping into Capricorn. I want to ask you guys first, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling? I know that at the moment of this recording, it's a little bit just before going live, but I woke up this morning, and I've been feeling a little bit strange. I started seeing like synchronicities in places where I kind of already knew they were a little bit there, but had been slightly neglected. I've been bringing together a lot of ideas that have been eluding me for some time, and all of a sudden it's like a light bulb went off and a lot of things are making sense to me. I don't know. We definitely have this sun transiting over Chiron phase, and it's been very, very interesting to see how it's playing out. Mainly because this transit isn't one that happens every so often, and as it's getting ready to move into Aries, that we've been talking about all of this shifting of energies and whatnot. And of course, as I said before, Mercury is also beginning to retrograde. So a lot of like our connectiveness, a lot of our ability to, project outward to others, really communicate, is becoming more apparent to us. And because of it, because the intensity is growing so strong, it's also becoming a bit more difficult. Remember, Jupiter is now, a bit officially retrograding, but it was stationary for quite some time now. And when we talked about planets going stationary, it means that they're becoming a lot more powerful because their energies are becoming more condensed in the spot that they are in, as opposed to when a planet is normally transiting, it kind of leaves off the energy because it's constantly moving. So a degree or two will feel the energy, and then the energy is faded away a little bit because it's already moving through the houses. When a planet goes stationary, that sign, degree, house, whatever it is, all of it becomes extremely lit up because of the energy concentration that is currently happening. And a little bit about Mercury retrograde, even though we're not quite there yet, it's basically telling us right now, as not necessarily the retrograde itself, we're more talking about the stationary part. It's kind of telling us to pay attention a lot to the things that are just happening around us, right? Maybe you're getting an invitation to go talk with someone or meet with someone, maybe someone you like, maybe someone you were expecting to meet, or maybe someone that you just did not want to freaking see their face anymore, right? There may be some communication stuff going on, and I feel like right now it's time to really defend who you are. And the reason I say that is because, of course, we do have both Venus and the Moon conjunct this stationary Mercury right now. And we also have the Sun conjunct Chiron. This is also one of my theories of why I say you may be meeting someone you may not necessarily want to meet. Because, sun here kind of really represents who we are, what we want to be. And with Chiron, it's like our pains, our wounds, our it's like touching a thorn, right? It stings, it hurts, it makes you bleed. And so this whole sun Chiron thing is really coming into the awareness of our internal struggles, our internal pains. I talked about it during the new moon, right? I said that this is going to be a time period for healing, a time period of healing a lot of those wounds and pains. And I'm telling you, it already has begun. Like, it's already begun. We're in that phase, and we're starting off with this conjunction here. I definitely feel like this conjunction is going to be big. Again, you're going to be very emotional about the situation. You may run into people you may not necessarily like. You may have to defend who you are. You might need to make sure that you are not overtaken by other people's influences. Keep in mind, this is the opposite of Libra. Libra, you would want to please other people. Right now, this is not a time to be pleasing other people. This is a time of pleasing yourself. Just make sure you're defending who you are and backing up who you are. Do not let, the influence of others, do not let the conversation that already exist around you take control of the situation of who you are. If someone starts saying shit about you, you turn around and say, hold on, you better hold your horses, because I ain't like that. I ain't say shit like that, and don't you be putting words in my mouth. Okay? So definitely this conjunction here, it really highlights this individuality, right? Because again, we're in Aries, so this is about the self. This is all about who we are, who we want to be, and how we want others to see us, because again, we're dealing with Venus and with Mercury here, as well as our emotions, so we're gonna be emotionally connected to this. However, do keep in mind that we are in the sign of Aries, which means emotions, Venus and Mercury being in Aries, this is a very easy time for people to pop off. This is a very easy time for people to clap back. This is a very easy time to just spark, get mad, and flare off at people, possibly at the wrong people as well. So I will say, please control your anger, please control your emotions, because you may accidentally come off at the wrong person trying to defend who you are, and a lot of people might see you as being hypersensitive or being very overly cautious of things that you may not necessarily need to be, especially because we have this conjunction in Pisces still going on. People are they're feeling the vulnerability, they're feeling the defenselessness. People being able to just like see right through them, being able to hurt them where it hurts the most. And because we don't have that natural defensive wall to protect us, because this is Pisces season, we're gonna easily be hurt by other people. So I will say this is a time to really kind of analyze exactly what your situation is. If it's a time to defend yourself, you defend yourself like the warrior Aries is. If it's a time to chill and not necessarily, jump and bite back as soon as someone tries to pet you, then you may need to take things a little slower. I would recommend the Cancer approach, which is literally observe, wait, and then think of the plans that you want to move into, because you don't necessarily want to really pop off quickly. As an Aries moon, I understand what this energy is like, and it is very easy for me to just want to snap back and say the quickest thing that's in my mouth without having thinking it first. Especially with, like I said, having Mercury and emotions here. Yeah, this is a whole lot of talking and not enough thinking. So just keep that in mind. A couple aspects that I noticed that were interesting, especially for today, are definitely this stellium Aries squaring off Saturn. So, a square to Saturn here kind of really lets me know that, there's probably some lessons that we're going to be learning through this, right? We may end up, like I said, running into the wrong person, and this is going to be a test of character, right? Are you going to defend yourself, or are you going to let people walk all over you, right? Or are you going to snap back quickly, or are you going to control your temper? Every person is different, and so I have to give different examples for the emotion and reactions of different people. Again, what applies to one person may not apply to another. For me, I'm more of the quick pop off. So maybe for today, I'll chew back a little bit and not necessarily, bite back as quickly. As far as defending myself, I'm Aries, bro. I ain't gonna let anyone take me over. So that's not something that will apply to me. What applies to you? What resonates to you? Because, this is a big energy in Aries without necessarily still being in the sign of Aries, right? This is what I was telling you guys before. The sun is still in Pisces. This is still a period of ending, conclusions, and coming to the world card, but at the same time we have a lot of starting energy moving forward. And so we really need to think about whether it's actually time to move forward, or if it's time to use this forward momentum to be able to finish up the things that need to be dealt with. This is, I think, one of the reasons why we're having a lot of squares to Capricorn right now, because they both kind of want to start, but in different ways, and they don't have the timing correctly to do the starting of the things. That's why a lot of this energy is kind of squaring, because we're instead needing to focus on finishing up. Once the sun comes into Aries, I really do think that things will pick up a lot better. Also, do keep in mind that this sun is going to be squaring Mars. So again, I really don't believe that it is time to start anything. You don't want to do necessarily anything new. It's just finishing up the old, cleaning up the closet. I was speaking with my mother yesterday, and I told her, one of the best recommendations of what you could be doing during this time period before the sun enters Aries, do some cleaning. They call it spring cleaning for a reason, right? Why? Because it's ending Pisces and starting Aries. It's a very good time to be doing some spring cleaning. You got some garbage or some junk or some stuff that you've been hiding in a corner of the room or something. If you have nothing better to do, go out and do a little bit of cleaning. Take out some stuff that you don't need anymore. Polish up the place and make it feel like a new space as you're moving forward into the Aries season. So I mean, it's definitely going to be today, but also for the next 2 or 3 days as the sun enters Pisces, the sun enters Aries, you will have that time period to kind of really clean out the closet and take out the dust from under the rugs, if you will, so that you can make space for the new. Because the law of attraction is, first of all, make sure that you are sending out positivity to the world, because positivity will return back to you. But the second thing is also to make sure to clean out your closets, because you need to be able to make space for new things to come into your life. If you are a person who is cluttered with a lot of junk in your life, you really need to clean out who you is, so that you can make space for new things to come into your life. This is one of the reasons why we say let go of negative emotions, release negative emotions, release that which you don't need to be holding on to anymore, because if you hold on to that, you're going to close the doors for new opportunities to be able to come into your life. So that's something that I would definitely want to nail on. And another really interesting aspect that I really kind of want to talk about here is this whole thing of the, Aries Stellium, as I want to call it for a sec, is making aspects with the nodes, and literally, on the almost same degree here. We have Mercury, Venus, and Moon sextiling the south node while trining the north node. What does this tell me? We're going to move into our future. We're going to move into the things that we need to be nurturing. We're going to do a very good job at, going into the direction we kind of really want to be going, especially because Athena has been sextiling the sun. So there's definitely some energy here to be able to progress forward. And of course, we can pull up our other little triangle that we got going on here as well. But there is that sextile to the south node, and what this is kind of indicating for me is we really need to put the effort in releasing. We really need to put the effort in letting go. We really need to put the effort in cleaning out, so that we can be prepared to bring in the new. Kind of think of it like this, right? Let's say that you work at a convenience store, right? Every single week, you got new merchandises coming in, right? You guys got to restock, got to change the produce, put new ones up, and all that stuff, right? So every single week, without fail, you're always going to get new produce coming into the store. However, what happens if you still have old produce that has, begun going bad and is still on the shelf? Well, you need to go and clean it and get rid of it and throw it away, right? Because you got to put the new stuff up so that they can get sold. You can't leave the old stuff up because, one, they're, nasty and bad, and two, they're not going to sell. So that's the energy that we're having right now. This trine here is kind of telling me we're going to get the new shipment of produce. Like, it's coming. However, we really need to work on getting rid of the old one and cleaning it out and get rid of it. Or else we're going to run into a situation of we can't sell the new stuff if the old stuff is still there. And even worse, what ends up happening is the old stuff contaminate the new stuff. And then it's just a cycle of negativity, bad vibrations, low vibrations, and just messes everything up overall. You get what I'm going with this? So again, take the energy for today to really clean out your place, clean out your spiritual space, right? This isn't just cleaning the physical house, although that really does go a long way, especially if you're Virgos, but also clean out the spiritual space around you, right? You don't want to have toxic people or negative people, or even if there are, try to curve them and help them out so that they're not so negative. Or do what you can in your own part with your own emotions of like, okay, maybe I don't need to have such a negative stance on this, right? What can I do differently about this? Or how can I think differently about this? Or how can I put this into a different perspective that makes it a little bit more positive? So definitely kind of re-look at some of the things going on here. Because there's a lot of other energy as well that is involved that I'm not necessarily, bringing into the equation at the moment. But if we're going to be talking about the 14 degrees, it's obvious that we do have the North Node still in conjunct Neptune at the 14 degrees, while Neptune is bisextiling or semi-sextiling both the stellium and the South Node. So again, there's a lot of really even minor energy, right? I would call it minor because they're not necessarily as strong as some of the ones that we've already spoken about today. But that in itself is still influence. There's quite a bit of influence still going on, especially since Neptune is still sextiling Saturn. So definitely learning about how to make our ideals real, how to be able to achieve our ideals given the limited resources that we have. So again, very good day for cleaning, very good day for reshaping things, very good day for starting out a new adventure. I mean, again, not necessarily jumping into the boat of doing new stuff, but making sure that the old stuff has been cleaned up so that we have the space for the new stuff to come in. Hopefully that has been helpful for you guys. I really enjoyed making these episodes. God, it's really great. I'm a little bit almost on the last minute making this episode, but we good. Enjoying my own self over here with some of the content that I've been working on as well. And speaking of content, if you haven't seen yesterday's lunar astrological forecast, I would go ahead and recommend checking that out over on the top left, or excuse me, top right. We go over what this new moon in Pisces is going to be about and how to prepare and make the most of it, especially given the aspects that we've been having. New moon conjunct Chiron is only one of the very few things that we cover as well. And of course, we do have our ingress for Mars into Capricorn. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check that on the bottom right. But again, thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. As always, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll catch you guys on the next cast. Peace.